my channel. So before we start the video for today, if you can help subscribe to this channel, I would really appreciate it because it can help me grow. So let's get started with the problem for today. So best time to buy and sell stock for. So in this video, I'm going to cover the solution to solve this problem, and at the same time, I'm going to briefly go through the general steps we should follow in a real code interview. So let's get started. So remember, in a real coding interview, the first step is not to do coding. It's not to do coding. So the first step is try to understand the problem, ask some questions if you don't understand anywhere, and also at the same time think about some edge cases. So let's see. So you're given an integer array prices where prices I is the price of a given stock on the I day. So design an algorithm to find the maximum profit. You may complete at most k transactions, and you may not engage in multiple transactions simultaneously, so you must sell a stock before you buy it again. So let's see, for example 1, when k is equal to 2, prices is like 2 for 1, so the maximum profit we could get is 2. And similarly for this one, we are going to output 7. So let's see some constraints. It says that k is between 0 to 100. And also it says that prices, so the prices input array, the length of it is between 0 to 1000, and each of the prices between 0 to 1000 as well. So having said that, I think the edge case I can think about is if k is equal to 0, or if the input prices array its length is equal to 0, then I would say we just return 0 because 0 is the maximum profit. If you don't have any transaction, or if there's no stock to sell or buy, then of course the profit is going to be 0. So otherwise I think we should be good. So the next step for you to do is to think about the idea. So still not coding. So think about the idea, how to solve this problem, do some nice discussion with the interviewer about the idea to solve this problem, do some runtime space analysis. So before you start coding, please get an agreement with the interviewer, so get an okay to proceed to the next step. So after you get an agreement with the interviewer about the solution, so you're going to do some coding work. Take care about your code correctness, readability, and also don't be too slow. So let's go through the solution and this piece of code together. So we are going to use the dynamic programming to solve this problem. So initially, the prices.length is equal to 0, then we are going to return 0. So for this dp2d matrix, let's say dp transaction count, and this is the day. So this one means the maximum profit we could get if we have transaction count transactions on day, okay, or maybe on day D to make it different. Yeah, so that's the definition. So we need to decompose the problem into some subproblems and use the subproblems, the result from the subproblems to recompose and get the final answer for the original problem. So that's essentially what dynamic programming is: to decompose and compute the result for the subproblem, and recompose the result from the subproblem together, to chain them together to get the final result for the original problem. So suppose the transaction count is equal to 0, then for sure we are going to have the profit to be 0 for that. So we are going to, for the odd layer of the for loop, it is on the transaction count. For the inner for loop, it is about a day. So for so we should start from the transaction count as 1, because for transaction count as 0 it is already initialized, because if there is no transaction, the profit is going to be 0. So initially we have the main cost, which is the minimum cost to buy the stock, and the maximum profit. The max profit means the maximum profit we could get for the corresponding day if we perform this many transactions. So initially we have the main cost to be the minimum between the minimum cost we could get before, or if we buy a stock for the current day by considering the previous profit we have made for on if we have, so this one means if we perform transaction count minus 1 transactions on the current day, what is the maximum profit we could get? So we need to make use of this profit to reduce the cost we buy the stock. So in this way we can compute the minimum cost to buy the stock on this day. So let me make the explanation to be more straightforward. Suppose you make a couple transactions and you have some money, so you can already use this money to buy more stocks in the future. So suppose we consider suppose we consider the profit we have already got from the previous transactions, which is represented by this variable. So that is going to decrease from the concept level. That is going to decrease the cost we are going to buy the stock on this day. So that's essentially what mean cost is. It's about to buy a stock by applying the previous profit we have made before. And this max profit means what is the maximum profit we could get by doing this many transactions at this day. So by this day means, so this is this by the okay. So the maximum profit is the maximum between the current maximum profit and if we just buy a stock for if we just sell a stock for today, and by subtract the cost we have got a stock before. So that's the maximum profit we could get by performing this many transactions by this day. And finally we just return dpk prices the length minus 1, which means if we perform k transactions by the last day, what is the maximum profit we could get. So you can see that for this DP solution, the runtime is going to be let's say the length of the prices array is n, so the runtime is going to be O and K, and space-wise it's also going to be O and K. Although there could be some more optimization. Let's say if we because you can see that for the inner for loop, it is about to compute one row for this DP matrix. So if we just if we don't from that perspective, we don't really need to store the matrix. Instead we could store like 2 rows, use them in an interleaving way so that we can save some space. So potentially the best space we could get is all of n instead of O and K, but I'll just leave the optimization for you to perform offline. So after you're done with coding, please also keep in mind that you need to do some testing. So you can either set up some test cases to run it if this is a runnable platform. If not, you need to go through the code, explain it, and also do some sanity check and fix some bugs within your code. So that's it for this coding question. If you have any question about the solution, feel free to leave some comments below. If you like this video, please help subscribe this channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.